This is Mr. Mayhew, and I'm doing this project for one of my Learner's Edge classes. Just wanted to go over an app that I came across a few weeks ago and decided to do my class on this app because I think it's amazing. So this is the MIT App Inventor program that I have up here, and I built out a little app that I'm going to kind of show you real quick what's going on here. If you've ever played Whack-A-Mole, this is similar to Whack-A-Mole. It's just going to be on a tablet or a phone, where basically you have moles that'll pop up and you tap them with your finger and then your score goes up. A real simple game that you can make, but you could make this in about a class or two and have it up on your phone by the end of the second class, if not sooner. So a great little program, and I'm going to show you how I made it here real quick. Basically, the screen that I'm on is the designer tab screen, and over here is where we basically build out how we want the app to look. So we slid over a canvas, we slid over some image sprites. Up here you can get buttons and images and labels and all sorts of stuff, and you put that all over here and you kind of adjust the sizes and stuff underneath the properties. And here's all the components that I put in. I have some hidden components as well, like a noise component and a timer, and the timer helps the mole pop up randomly or whenever I set the time. So basically you design it over here and then you tell the program what you want it to do under blocks. So this is where you basically code. And so I spent some time writing this code, and I used some tutorials to help me a little bit as well. But basically, I wrote this code so that the mole would randomly pop up. So to move mole, I just basically using the X and Y coordinates, the math becomes really real here, and they are just randomly kind of popping up. The mole's randomly kind of popping up on the screen. I wrote a variable so the score sets to 0. And then when the mole is touched, the score will go up by 1. Then I call a noise. When I touch it, I've programmed it to vibrate a little bit real quick, so you know that you actually got them. And then, of course, it'll update the score when you touch the mole, and that's how basically it's working. And the mole is actually moving again. The reset button I have here basically just resets the game, takes your score back to 0, and it updates it to 0. Okay, and this is where the score gets placed, this piece of code, and it calls the global score. So on the screen it goes up where the score is. And then this is the timer. That kind of is a hidden component in the game that makes the mole randomly pop up based on a timer, how often it shows up. So again, this is the code that I wrote to make a simple game. I do have 2 pictures of the moles on here. One of them I haven't programmed yet. This one I programmed. But the other one is basically just simply copying this exact code and changing it to the other mole. So real simple to do, but it does take a little bit of time to figure out how to get it to work. In the next part, I'm going to test this on a tablet because I can't really show you how it works here or a phone. So the next part, you go up here to click Connect, and you're going to click AI Companion, and I'm going to scan this with my phone in a minute. And show you how to how my game looks and is working. So you can see I got my tablet here, and basically we left off with me having the QR code pulled up. So what I'm going to do with my tablet, I'm going to scan the QR code, and that just popped up. So I'm going to go scan the QR code, and once I scan the QR code, my video game should start to pop up here. So let's go ahead and see. It's kind of hard holding a cell phone and doing that. So as you can see, I got my mole mash game and it's popped up. My mole is popping around. I'm going to try and tap them a few times, Get that little guy. I got him once. Jeez. He's getting away from me. Okay. So I got him a few times. Okay, so the score went up by 2. And of course, I'd probably add some sound effects and stuff when I touch him and stuff like that to make it more exciting. Get the other mole working as well by adding more code. But if you hit the reset button, score goes back to 0. And of course, we could make it pop up and say new game or whatever. But this is basically the skeleton of a game that could be a good game someday. And we can use this code to make levels and all sorts of stuff here. So really neat little game that we developed with the MIT App Inventor, and I'm looking forward to teaching how to do this.